All right, I think that's probably pretty good enough time. I know we have a lot to talk about, a lot to cover, and I know everybody's super excited about hearing what we have to say about the video technology that we've been doing a lot of research on. So without further ado, hello everyone. Welcome to the Next Gen Video Tools, Elevating Your Student Communications. I'm Samantha Kornmesser, your LeadsCon Rising Star in Performance Marketing, also the MDT Marketing Manager. I'm super excited to be hosting this insightful conversation today. I know, Gary, I'm going to use that until it's just no longer relevant, but I'm still the rising star. Thank you, Charlie, for that, by the way. We are all here. We're diving into the transformative powers of next-gen video tools and how they're reshaping the way higher ed communicates with their students. This isn't going to just be super tech talk. If you have a hand in your student journeys, this is definitely a good place for you to be. So during today's enlightening chat, we're going to be diving into personalized video tools, how to create unforgettable, tailored experiences for your audiences, diverse video solutions. So we're going to unpack some AI-driven methods and interactive experiences that are blazing new trails, and efficient production and workflows. Get the lowdown on streamlining your video creation process, which I know is, I'm going to tell you, as a marketing manager, I know can be quite the hurdle, and some real-world marketing, real-world applications. So we'll be highlighting some case studies and some actionable strategies for your institution to implement. So after diving into these transformative tools and strategies and hearing what our panelists have to say, we'll be opening up the floor for a Q&A. So feel free to submit your questions throughout this presentation. If you have a burning question you really want it answered, Brian Kofsky is actually, I'll go ahead and give him a little introduction there. Brian Kofsky is one of our marketing strategists, and he will be in the chat live to answer some of your burning questions that you don't want to wait until the end for. But anything else, you can enter into the Q&A, and those are going to be able to be upvoted. So if you see something that you want to ask as well, and somebody already asked it, go ahead and give that an upvote, so that way it moves it to the top of the list for us, so we can make sure the panelists get a chance to answer that question for us. So let's not keep our awesome panel waiting. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to them for introductions. Folks, let's get them kicked off with tell them your name, title, and the company you're with. And because we're talking about video, tell us your favorite movie character who best represents your approach to student engagement. We're just trying to have a little fun here. So Charlie, I'm going to put you on the spot, and you get to go first.
Hey guys, Charlie Parker here, Vice President of Marketing. We've got a collection of schools. We've got 21 campuses throughout the United States: Aviation Institute Maintenance, Centura College, and Tidewater Tech. We mainly focus on the trades, but we do have a pretty good offering of allied health and some other kind of green space programs that we've launched over the last couple of years. So that is me. As far as the ask here on the actor, or the portrayal of an actor, there's a young guy named Gary Joseph who I really enjoy. He was a young star with Jumanji, and there's some connections there, but I do have to correlate. If you guys have seen The Founder or seen any movie or documentaries on McDonald's and their rise, I can't think of their names, but I think it was Mac and Dick McDonald, if I'm correct on this. I would say that's how I would approach student engagement early on, not the post McDonald's, but the pre McDonald's. They approached it in a very efficient manner, how they did their orders. A buzz thing right now with all marketers is you want to go where your students are, and I believe that they did that in the 50s, as they created something where their community would be able to interact with it. They were revolutionary with throwaway items as far as putting the burgers in a bag, but at the same time they delivered a high quality food source and a place for people to meet. So I would say, as far as my student engagement, that would be the most that I can relate to, based on what they did early on and how they approached the efficiency and outcomes. So
that's awesome. Go. Great job, Charlie. Johan, we'll go ahead and move on to your introduction.
Sure, thank you so much. So my name is Johan Moncada. I'm one of our enterprise account managers here at Lead Squared. And movie character, that Jumanji character that Charlie said really resonates with me. I kind of totally get where he's going with that one. But for me personally, I think for me, student engagement wise, can't remember the character's name in the movie, but we all know the actor, Keanu Reeves in Speed 1, the original Speed movie. right? You got to keep it up above 50 miles per hour or the bus is going to explode. And the reason why I picked that character for me is, a little bit about myself. I spent 14 years myself in higher education, primarily on the admissions side, right? Running admissions teams, large and small. And you have to think on your feet. You got to think quickly, right? Student engagement is the name of the game. What's going to set you apart from your competitors? What's going to make you different? What is going to make your students want to go to your school, right? What is that student experience going to look like? And part of that is you have to really be able to be at a very, very fast pace. So that would be the character for me.
Awesome. Good choice. Keanu Reeves is one of my favorites. And so is that movie. All right, Gary, that leaves you. Go ahead and kick us off.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Gary Thorpe. I'm VP of Operations at MDT Marketing. And I've been in charge of leading some of our product development, particularly related to next-gen video solutions. Super excited to talk about it. And if there's a character, I forgot this was going to be a question, maybe like Sherlock Holmes, because like I'm always investigating new ways of doing things and trying to uncover optimization opportunities. So I think that's my answer.
That sounds like a pretty good one, especially because then you can dive in and see how you can do it better, right? All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for the introductions. We'll go ahead and kind of jump into our conversation. But before we do, we'll go ahead and launch our very first poll question for the audience to answer. This kind of helps us get some insight on what's happening in the realm of higher education when it comes to student engagement strategy. So I'll let you guys go ahead and play with that. Go ahead and vote on that. And then I'll go ahead and walk it over to Gary. So I'll just give them just a minute for that, and I'll move around on my notes here so I can make sure I've got us all set up and ready to go. Awesome. All right, without further ado, to kickstart this conversation, to immediately dive into the power of these tools, I'm going to kick it over to Gary. Gary, tell us why video has become such a passion for MDT marketing and what the research has shown in the video technologies that you've seen.
Well, there's a lot. We have a monster audience today, which I was really excited about. Everybody who's on this call already understands the value of video. What we have done, video is really interesting because it's highly segmented. It's segmented in a way that I think that a lot of people don't realize. And where we're really going to be focusing today, and where MDT has been focusing its efforts, is on one-to-one video. And one-to-one video is exactly what it sounds. It is video that is made for one unique individual. You're making one video for one unique person, and that's it. And it's an incredibly important and valuable tool, because something that MDT has been focused on. We focus on really trying to help institutes of higher education create wow moments in their student communications. And the reason that's so important is there is our student contacts are being bombarded with all kinds of content out there. A lot of institutions will say, hey, how do we stack up against other institutions? And we'll say, maybe you don't even have to be that worried about it, because your main competition for engagement is like TikTok and Instagram and Netflix and mobile games. There's an unlimited supply of highly stimulating content out there. How do you get your message across? And we talk about high contrast content, and one-to-one video is high contrast content. It is something, it's a unique way of delivering your message that can delightfully surprise your student contact. And that's what it's all about. What can give you your message a little bit of an edge to optimize engagement? So that's the essence of one-to-one video. And it's really powerful for that reason. When you think of a video that can say, hi, Samantha, how you doing? Can't wait to talk to you. Your interest in our business management program, it's a great program. Can't wait to talk to you more about it. That's powerful, that you're actually engaging somebody through video by speaking their name and tailoring the conversation to them. So those are all the reasons why it's important. And Samantha, if you'd like, I can kind of run through some of the technology as a starting point to dig in.
Yes, please. Yeah, let's dive into some of the examples that you have that you've kind of come across throughout the research.
Yeah, super excited to dig in. And fellow panelists, I'm sorry, I'm like gonna hog the limelight.
Don't let them monopolize it. Don't let them monopolize it.
You guys are welcome to jump in whenever you want, but
you know that
I think
Charlie
these are real
will.
foundational things that we're
So I
gonna
am
cover.
going to jump in for a quick second, just so everybody knows who they're talking with. And Gary does a tremendous job of this. So you do really need to listen. There's a lot of parts of the journey that hopefully I can speak to after, and Johan can speak to after Gary's done, to kind of complement it. But I do want to highlight one thing, is that one thing that I do love about working with Lead Square and MDT and with Gary, and I hope this comes across in here, is that it's cutting edge stuff that kind of bleeds into what our demographic is looking at. For us, it's 18 to 35-year-olds. So I think when you listen to Gary, you've also got to kind of see what does the journey look like, and what does the age group look like that they're seeing every day, so that you can not blend in with it, but be a part of it that stands out. And you said something, Gary, I want you to say it again, something about you said something about the using the video and the uniqueness of it, but I can't remember the happy word you said, but it was really good. But I do want people to remember when you're going through this, to think about your demographic and at what part that this can be used for, because it isn't a one-trick pony. It's part of a whole series of things that can complement the outcomes that you would want, or you would want to see through it. So I did interrupt, and I feel good about myself now. My ego is filled. And if you don't know, Gary is a childhood actor that we were talking about, so I threw that in there. Thanks.
All right, that's your one of 3 interruptions, Charlie. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I'm excited because I'm gonna be taking us all to like I'm gonna say the bleeding edge of video technology, and then we're gonna pull it back a little bit. So there's all kinds of solutions we're gonna go through, and I talk about different platforms that can be used to accomplish these things. Some of it's pretty nifty. So in the world of one-to-one video, we really categorize, we have like 4 subcategories that we've identified within one-to-one video. And the list is manual creation, AI hybrid creation, full AI creation, and automated. So there are 4 unique categories of one-to-one video development. I'm going to run through each one. I'm going to give a little example of each one. And just really quickly, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Starting off with manual. One-to-one video can be as easy as grabbing your cell phone and just filming a video message. Just, somebody on your team grabbing their phone and saying, "Hey, Samantha, it's Gary at MDT University. Thanks so much for reaching out. We can't wait to connect with you. Look forward to it. Talk to you soon." That's a one-to-one video.
Some of you may have seen my thank you video in your thank you emails after you registered. I did a little, not quite a one-to-one, but it was definitely something real quick on a cell phone.
Yeah, that's one way that some groups are doing it today. And the positives of that is it's probably the most, it's high in authenticity, it's high in personal connection and personalization, because it is real, it's a real person delivering a real message. The challenges, especially in higher ed, are kind of extensive. It's not scalable at all. It's really difficult to scale. You need high level of training for somebody to do it. There's a lot of room for people to go off script or potentially say things that are not approved. What happens if that person is sick or on vacation or things like that? Will it get done? So manual approach is a possible way of doing one-to-one video, but there are trade-offs. And you'll see there are trade-offs to everything as we go through this. One software solution that we have some exposure with is BombBomb for manual. So BOMB. And they allow you to they simplify the process for manual one-to-one video generation. So that's a name that could be worth checking out. Then we've got AI hybrid. Now, AI hybrid is similar in the sense to manual, where you just kind of shoot a video, but then you leverage AI technology to automate the change in your lip movement and the sound that you say at certain moments in the video to turn a kind of a canned video into a scalable video. And I'm going to share an example of that right now. Let me. All right, so everybody should see it now. This is an example, and it is surprising the number of technologies out there that are doing this. There are a lot of different vendors out there. This one is from Windsor.io, and let me play the intro to this example.
Hello, Uniqua. Jordan here. We're so excited to have you join our community. I wanted to.
All right, blink and you miss it, but right at the very beginning, the name that we were using was Uniqua. Actually, I did one for a more common name. I did Jonathan as well. Just listen right at the beginning.
Hello, Jonathan. Jordan here. We're so excited to have you join our community.
So really interesting technology. This whole technology is built on just enabling the using AI to deliver a personal greeting. And then the rest of the video is static. There are a lot of different video companies that are doing this. And so from my perspective, one of the pros of this is that it turns kind of a manual video into a scalable video. So now you could send something out to a large list of people to a lot easier. The downside is and everybody should play around with this for themselves, but and I can share links as well as examples. There's a little level of clunkiness to it. It's not quite perfect. It sounds normal-ish, but not totally.
Hello, Jonathan. Jordan here. We're so excited.
Maybe there'd be more of a pause after Jonathan. Maybe there'd be a little bit more expression or excitement in the delivery. So this is a technology. It's purely based on AI, using AI to variably speak names. So this is an AI solution. Those are some of the pros and cons to it. The other solution that we have is full AI, and I've got a couple examples here. This is a platform called Synthesia. What this does is it takes, and there are a lot of vendors that do this too. This is the one that I see come up the most often. It helps you create a digital avatar. And the digital avatar then can be programmed to say whatever it is you want to say. If any of you have seen some of those deep fake videos and things like that, this has become more of like a real-time rendering component of it. So they film this individual, they generate a synthesized digital version of him, and then you actually have a whole list of accents and languages that you can make them speak. So let me play this as an example. This is a full AI. There's no actual production that goes into this. It's purely based on uploading a script into a system.
Hey Gary. This is just a test of a potential personalized video service with MDT marketing. We'll see where this goes, but let me know what you think. Yada yada yada. Oh, by the way, Jonathan created me. Wait, no, I thought Synthesia programmers created me. Actually, that sounds worse. Programmers created me. I thought I was a real person. Man, this video is weird. I like do da cha cha.
Okay, so I loved how Jonathan on our team who created this video built in like an existential crisis with the digital avatar here. But I wanted to play the whole video because he had some questions thrown in there. He had some kind of changes and thoughts. And it kind of gives you an understanding of how dynamic a full AI digital avatar with video can be today. And my personal opinion is it's not super dynamic. When I see a solution like this, and they're getting better, fast, but when I see a solution like this, I think of maybe internal uses. Like if I want videos for onboarding new hires or things like that, this could be perfect because maybe the processes change on a regular basis and you don't want to have to keep producing a new video. Something like this could be, sufficient. But as far as outward facing, there is not an institution that I've ever worked with that would probably be comfortable with using this type of solution as it is today. It just feels inauthentic. It feels a bit robotic and a little weird. But this is kind of the bleeding edge of full AI today. And you can actually produce your own custom avatar. So you can do a recording of yourself. They'll turn you into a digital avatar, and then you can record your voice. And you can synthesize your voice to overlay your voice. And once that's done, all it is a matter of text-based writing a script, uploading the script, and the video is going to be produced for you. So really interesting stuff. So the pros are this can be scalable. It's a low barrier to entry in the sense that you don't have to do any video production to do this. You just have to select your digital avatar, write a script, and then you can have a movie, a video. But the downsides are, at least from my perspective, it feels inauthentic and maybe not totally real. So this is a full AI example. I want to give one other example that I thought I stumbled upon the other week, and it really surprised me, and I thought it was interesting and I wanted to share. So you're all probably familiar. This is a video that I took of me doing this process through ChatGPT. And you're probably all familiar with ChatGPT, and you could prompt it to write a script. I had asked it, hey, help me write a 30-second script for MDT University. I want it specific for Samantha. Samantha is the prospect. So probably no surprise to anybody, ChatGPT can create a script really quickly with that prompt. But what you may not know, and what surprised me, is I can then ask it to produce the video for me. And what I hadn't realized is I went on like a plugin install vendor at some point while using ChatGPT, and I had installed this plugin called Visla. And Visla plugin allows you to take the script that you had just generated and automatically create a video with full voiceover and stock video. You can see the script on the left.
Hello, Samantha. Here at MDT University, your future is knocking on a door full of opportunities. We're thrilled about your interest in us, and we believe in your potential to thrive in our diverse community. Your educational journey deserves support, inspiration, and success. That's why we're here, every step of the way. Let's make your dreams a reality, Samantha. Schedule a call with our admissions team today, and let's shape your future together. MDT University, where your journey begins.
Okay, so let's start with the positives. In less than 5 minutes, I went from no script to a fully produced, personalized video with voiceover. The technology is wild that it's capable of doing that. Would I leave my video with a closed sign on the front door of a business? Probably not my choice, but the technology demonstrates where we're headed in our ability to create sophisticated personalized videos in a very short amount of time. And that doesn't even have to be personalized in this case. It could be any type of video. So I wanted to share this. This blew my mind when I asked ChatGPT to help me write a script, and then it said, would you like me to produce it? And I said, okay, and then it did this. So pretty wild, and I wanted to share that. So these are two different examples of full AI technology. What I want to talk about now is kind of bring it back a little bit to, I want to talk about automated one-to-one video. Automated one-to-one video is different in the sense that it is, it's pre-programmed. You build a video shell, and then you can dynamically integrate variable elements to generate a custom one-to-one video for a student contact. And I want to share a couple examples of these. Share this one first.
Hi, Abraham. Cameron here, your virtual assistant. Just sending a quick reminder about your scheduled appointment with us. This is what we have scheduled. If all of this looks good to you, terrific. That means we're all set for your appointment, and all you need to do is show up at the scheduled time. However, if you have a conflict with this time, click the button below this video to reschedule. Keep in mind, this appointment is an opportunity for you to learn everything there is to know about us, from class schedules to financial aid. Be sure to prepare any questions you may have. We can't wait to connect with you. And hopefully soon we get to call you a student. Good luck with your appointment.
So this is an automated version. You'll probably see some pretty big differences between what this video does versus some of the other ones, particularly the ones that are AI generated. There are variable elements throughout the spot. There's first name, last name. There's the talent saying the name.
Hi, Abraham. Cameron here.
It's a very different experience than the AI ones, and I'll talk about that in a second. It's weaving in data. So any data that you have on a student contact, you can build an automated video as a shell and dynamically pull that information in, as long as it's data that lives with the contact record, which would include information like campus location, appointment time, and that sort of thing. Well, the difference between automated and AI is that this is all fully produced. So this is actually a real person really saying the name, really saying the script. And you can see the way that it's delivered is it's a different level of authenticity and a natural delivery when you can kind of record a dedicated person doing this. So there's a lot of powerful like aspects to automate. And I want to share one other clip here, because there are a lot of creative, a very broad creative opportunities with automated one-to-one video.
Hi, I'm Cameron. I just got your information request, and thank you so much.
So very different style of video. This is like an authentic looking webcam video. And here, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. In this video, something that's cool that you can do with automated video is you can make it look authentic. You can make it look like a manually produced video. This, hi Hannah, that is a variable element made to appear as though it's on a whiteboard. This poster right here, that's totally digital. This is a variable element that can change to say, for instance, if your student contact is interested in business management, this could say, give a little information about now enrolling for business management classes or business management open house or something like that. So you can apply variable content into a video that looks authentically there. It looks lifelike. So some really cool aspects about doing one-to-one video through an automated approach versus AI. So I wanted to highlight some of those differences. Another few things like pros and cons with automated is it's scalable, wide range of creative options. It's really, really good if your institution is focused on compliance and legal, like regulatory matters. Everything about an automated video is going to be fully approved before it launches. Because once it launches, you're locked into that script. It's not going to go off script or anything, which could be a challenge with like doing a manual approach or having somebody write a script. You just have to make sure that it got approved and that sort of thing. And another thing here is when you automate your one-to-one delivery, it's never going to slip through the cracks. It's going to deploy nights and weekends and holidays, so things like that. So I know I took a lot of time. I wanted to start the conversation with a foundation of a couple different ways, a couple of the different types of technology that are out there, because there's all kinds of technology and it's really cool and I could geek out on it for a long time, but that's an intro. And I'd be happy to answer any questions on this or afterwards about the technology. So there you go, Samantha. That's the answer, and back to you.
Great wrap up. We'll go ahead and see if Charlie has any comments he wants to add to the conversation.
Never short of comments. Sorry, Johan, you're gonna have to sit patiently by a little longer.
I'll go right after you. You're good.
As I say, Johan can just interrupt Charlie as many times as he'd like.
No, Johan cannot. I'm just joking. Really good job by Gary.
That's a challenge.
You know, really good job by Gary. We do utilize this service. In fact, Gary and I had talked, geez, it's probably been 2 years now, or roughly a year and a half. And we started talking about different ways we can do different things. And by different things, I mean, our vision here is to spend more time on brand reputation and getting a pre-sold person walking through the hallways versus what I would consider something a little bit archaic, which is more the kind of pull your inquiries in through different methodologies with digital or pay per lead or anything like that. So what we try to do here is limit our highest converting acquisition sources and then use tools such as video to nurture them higher, to get them involved with us and engaged with us, so that when they get to a human being, which is ideally walking the halls in the school, they are already have an idea of culturally who we are. And one thing we've learned, and I think everybody knows this, is a lot of our demographic again is 18 to 35, if that's relevant. But a lot of the people that we work with, it's about location and who they're going to rub shoulders with. And one thing that Gary said over and over again is authenticity. And you have to be careful with video right now. You have to be careful what you choose. And we do a little bit of AI, but we also want to use an authentic person. We do like the more grainy, the more web type camera approach, more closer to the camera. They can relate to it. But I'm also going to switch towards using real people. We're going to take some of our instructors and actually film them doing the same thing, and use AI technology to kind of variable put their names in there and stuff like that. So it's more unique to them. And I'll tell you, it's helped us out a lot. I mean, anybody can share numbers on calls like this. So I'm not going to just give you numbers and then you don't know if they're real or not. So if anybody gives you numbers over a webinar, take that with a grain of salt. Just take what they say, I think, from their heart, I guess. But for us, it's done a really good job for two things. One is I've limited my payroll as far as reps that are working these, because I've been able to get more people engaged from a non-FTE perspective, and have them come into the school, which is more of a closer mentality than kind of a nurturer or miner. So that's why I love the video tool that we use with everything. The second thing is on our start rate. And start rate for us means an applicant that starts school, so your yield. And our yield has gone up by using this. But again, a word of caution, there's a lot of other things that we've chosen to do with social, with our SEO, that complements all of this. If you're sitting on a call, like, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'll see something, a shiny object, and I'll just take it, I'll buy it, and I'll put it in place. But none of the other stuff kind of complements it. And what we've tried to do here, and MDT has been a partner of ours with this, and it's been great, is all of it's transparent together for that seamless journey. And someone picks a school for us, I don't believe just for the program. I believe they pick it because they want to be around like-minded people, and video usage, especially with the AI technology, gives them that. And my numbers prove out that it's been a great investment. It's not only saved me money, but it also has increased my revenue. So my boss loves me right now. So I mean, I'm wanting Gary to do all the videos in the world. The other thing, and I'll just say this, and Gary took so much time, is that we're working on a direct mail piece. And one of the things we've tried to engage with is high school. And I don't know if there's traditional high school, places or institutions out there, but we hit our high schools obviously during the year, and then we get the late adopters, and then we also hit our older demo that really hasn't made a decision yet. So we're going to put a QR code on a direct mail piece. I know people are out there going, direct mail? Holy crap, I don't even read the paper anymore. Well, direct mail is not dead. It's how you use direct mail that's changed, I think. And so we're going to utilize this video technology, and I'm going to be filming. In fact, I'm doing it tomorrow and Friday, filming some of our instructors, and they're going to be making things for us, maybe a plane or something like that. I'll let you be surprised when you see the video. But they're going to make that as an instructional tool, and then we're going to send that to the prospect. They're going to click the QR code and see that. And it does one of two things. One, it makes us look cool because we're using video. Two, the people I'm using are super cool. They look like them. They talk like them. They're not going to be perfect. They don't have perfect teeth, perfect hair like Gary. They look exactly like the people they want to run with. And so that gives us an immediate, I believe, authenticity. So when they do start to engage with us, we've already built a culture of who they're going to be attending with. And to me, that's 30% of the battle. And I'll leave you with this figure, and there's books out there, and I've used it at other places I've talked. Before, about 20 to 30% of your people coming to your school were pre-sold, meaning that they didn't really need to tip the scales, or they needed to be tipped the scales a lot more when they got to school. Now, because of technology and everything that's out there at everybody's disposal, it's about 80% that are pre-sold coming to your school. And these tools that MDT is offering, and Lead Squared, I'm sure, is going to talk about it from a CRM and a perspective, and how to utilize this to the utmost value, really helps hit where you need to hit, and not have waste of money or loss of conversions. So hopefully it wasn't too much, but that's my little spiel on that, and I love it. ask me any questions and I'll be honest with you because I don't use things I don't love. So
That's very true. Very true. I know that of him. We do have 3 questions from the audience, but we're going to go ahead and hear what Johan has to add as well, because we want to hear, again, so coming from your admissions background, you probably have, again, for the regulatory services, just, you know, kind of managing that messaging that comes out of admissions. So go ahead and jump on in there, John.
And no, thank you, Samantha. So hard to follow up Charlie. Charlie really, knocked it out the park with that one. But honestly, just to highlight a few things that Charlie said that really resonated with me, that make sure everybody picks up on that, right? This is really a synergistic approach, right? Everything that we do when we do marketing, outreach, messaging, there has to be a certain level of synergy, right? Sometimes we may be looking for a silver bullet saying, this is it. If I do this, all the problems in the world are solved. That would be great, right? But that's just not the world that we live in, especially for anybody that runs an admissions department here. You know that there has to be synergy. There has to be messaging that is consistent, right? And the consistency is the key, right? Things like this, personalizations like this, is what sets your institutions apart from others, right? Because whenever you have a prospective student looking to attend your institution, I know I do, so I'm assuming a lot of people other do as well. I shop around, right? I look at other places and see what are other places talking about? What are other places giving me that I may be able to use or not use? And at the end of the day, what it comes down to is really sense of belonging, right? Can we create a sense of belonging for that student to make them feel like they're part of the culture of that institution, so they are happy with the decision that they've made and they're looking forward to becoming part of that? Right. So that's just my admissions brain for a second. Take that off right now. Let me put my CRM hat for a second on. So when we look at, CRMs and integrations and making sure that, we are being as efficient as possible, if you don't have the right tool to back you up to help you be successful, then you may automate a few things. You may make a few cool things work, but are you really getting the best efficiencies out of your system? Right? Is the system doing the heavy lifting for you so that way you guys can focus on what matters, which is student experience, right? When Charlie's talking about full-time employees and making sure that you have the right amount of folks in the department, well, how much heavy lifting are they doing and how much heavy lifting are you removing out of their way, right? If I have an admissions team with me, I want my admissions team to focus on building a relationship with their student. But if they're having to send all these things out and do all these things manually, you're not doing yourselves any favors, right? Which is another reason why Lead Squared is partnered with MDT as well. And part of our partnership allows us to integrate a lot of these awesome tools that they've shown today into our CRM to create automatic pushes to send these videos out to these students, these automated videos to them, which again helps your admissions teams focus on what really matters, which is, again, near and dear to my heart. It's student experience, right? I always think about it as, what if this was my uncle, my sister, my brother, my cousin coming into this school? What is their experience going to be like? And am I making it the best experience possible? So that's my 2 cents on this one. Samantha, I'll hand it back over to you.
No, and that's perfect, because actually one of the questions submitted by Colleen, thank you very much, Colleen. What software is used for the automated one-to-one videos? So I know a couple of you probably can answer this question. Gary, I'm going to go ahead and give that to you first, and then whoever else wants to jump in. But go ahead and tell Colleen what software is used.
Yeah, I'm going to answer that in 1 second. I just want to follow up on what Johan was saying. Something that's really important. We have a very diverse group of higher ed institutions on this call. This is not just a front-end enrollment period type of solution. There's opportunity to apply this throughout the student journey. It is a powerful way to connect during that time in particular, but also to follow up with students. Are they not showing up for class? Are there signs that there could be, they're going to be canceling? Do you want to reduce summer melt? Do you want to follow up with alumni? You can use this throughout the stages of the student life cycle in multiple powerful ways. So I want to bring that up. As far as the different videos, the automated version, that was MDT's version. So MDT is that's the product that we have developed. And like Johan was saying, we have that integrated also with Lead Squared. So I think we've got a handful of Lead Squared users who are on the call. If you're a Lead Squared user, we've made it really easy to get started with personalized video, with an automated personalized video through that app. So there's like no barrier to entry. So it's a really good way to get your feet wet and try it out. But yeah, that's MDT's version. And I think I saw a couple other questions. There was also the first one I talked about for manual was BombBomb. The one that I was talking about, and there's a lot of vendors out there that do similar things. So these are just ones that we have explored. The one for the hybrid AI was Windsor.io, Windsor.io, and the full AI was Synthesia. So hopefully that answers that.
Can I add one thing, Gary? I have two left, so I'm going to exercise my right for one more. I just want to, give, you said something that made me think of it because you helped me think. And between you guys, and I'm going to speak as more of a client perspective, just as school. And one of the things I always struggle with is the sophistication of our products or our people. And I want to make sure that I'm not relying too much on technology. And I also want to make sure I'm not relying too much on humans where I can, reap some rewards. And that was the FTE comment or the full-time equivalent comment that Joanne helped me out explain better. So when you look at something like this, in the journey, and I'm going to use your thing, Gary, is there's touch points and you have to have enough data to use this. But if you really think about this and you want to do what is best for your institution as far as outcomes, you want to see the intervals that you have like leakage or drop off. And then you can utilize technology with that or Lead Squared for some sort of cadence and things like that. And it can help you obviously with payroll. But the other thing that this can really do is people are used to this. In COVID, my mom had no idea what a QR code is. She did not. She doesn't even know how to use an iPhone, let alone. I taught her emoticons, and now that's all I get. I don't even get words anymore. I just get a bunch of emoticons, and some of them are quite disgusting. She doesn't understand what they mean. And so after COVID, though, everybody used QR codes. They're freaking everywhere now. I can't even get a freaking menu without a QR code, right? So video is there now. You're not an early adopter for this. This is what, 18, I would say 18 to 25, 35, they're used to, but you have to be careful. And I'm not saying it as a downer, but the third one, which is completely AI generated from our Australian chap, you got to be careful because it sounds it, right? I don't know if we're quite ready for that, but in the middle with an AI and the other touch of a talent or something, really has done well for us at certain intervals, but it has to be credible. It has to be authentic, or people are going to see right through it. And I'll tell you this way, maybe this is a little bit better way. If you get something in the mail and it says Charlie in 50 font and it's blue, and the rest of the form is 12 font and it's black, dang well this wasn't done, right? So you have to be very careful how you use this tool and at what intervals you use it for that case and for your use in the cadence, like with Lead Squared and as far as your database use. So I just want to say that, Gary, because there's a word of caution, because these are cool tools, but it has to be a full vision that you have to step back for from the beginning until the end, just like you said with the outcome, to make sure it's used and appropriately for your audience, where they go, and those type of things. Hopefully that makes sense, but I wanted to add that.
I think that leads to the point that it's technology, our ability to do has outpaced like whether or not we should do it. So it's like we have capability beyond. So we really need to reconsider when we're putting this together, especially when you think about the tone and what sort of messaging you want to come from your institution. Is this approach the one, even though I could do it and it's super cool and I'm impressed with the technology, should I do it? Is it right for me? So.
Very good point, Gary. We always should be asking, is this really what's right for my audience? I know again, before this webinar had launched, I did a post and I was like, Gary or Charlie had mentioned it earlier, we want to be where they are, but we want to be there where they are in the right way. So I think that's going to be our next step as marketers, is make sure we're there in the right way. And video may or may not be that. One of the questions I feel like I want to make sure we point out too is that marketing automation is a big portion of automating these videos. Any video that you have, that again, marketing automation can be again a slew of different pieces. Lead Squared's of course got an amazing one that I say it's amazing because we're partnered with them, but no, really it is. We have a lot of clients that are again linked with them as well. So definitely something to look at is your marketing automation that you currently are using and whether or not that supports the automation of these videos. So that's definitely something that you'll have to look at kind of a one-on-one. I know that we've worked with several others on the MDT solution for personalized video. We've worked with several others as well besides Lead Squared as well. So it is possible, it just takes a lot extra work. So really quick, I want to make sure I recognize Maggie's question, and I'm not sure if we know this, but we're going to throw it out there to the panelists on what was the first software for hybrid video creation? I feel like I should have some Jeopardy music.
Yeah, I tried to answer that earlier. So that the hybrid one, that was the hybrid AI I think she was referring to. And the one that I had was Windsor.io, but there's a bunch of them. We've come across a bunch of them. That's the one that we tested.
Awesome. So then also, I believe we also touched on the shells, which what is the name of the software used to make the AI adjusted recorded video that gives their specific time of appointment with the real person? So that,
yeah, so
of course,
I kind of answered that. Yeah, I kind of answered that. So that's the automated technology. That's the product that MDT is offering. And that's a dynamic thing. So it would pull, there are different ways that you can do this. Some groups do batched, some do on demand. We really like on demand. On demand means as soon as there's a trigger event or as soon as somebody inquires with your institution, we generate a video really quick. The data will come in, it'll pass to MDT. It'll pull in all the data we need to make the video variable. What time is the appointment? Where is the appointment? What's the person's name? All that will pass in, we'll dynamically apply it to the video, render the video, pass it back to your CRM in real time. And then, like Samantha was saying, your marketing automation system will be programmed. So once the data populates back into your CRM to auto trigger a deployment, and it all happens within a few minutes. So the data is coming from your system that you've collected on the student contact.
Awesome. Thank you, Gary. I think what looks like we are all wrapped up. Does anybody have any additional questions? Brian, have you seen any other ones in the chat that need to be put in front of the panelists at all?
Looks like there is another question on the modality of use.
Oh, perfect.
I'll just hit it real quick. Email, text. We utilize whatever tool that the person's going to have in their hands or their eyeballs can see. So really anything that you would want to use, but for us, email and text is the main one.
Curious, the text message is a specific type of text message, and she's got SMS on here, and I know there's an MMS, and there's always a little bit of confusion on that. Can you clarify?
Yeah, so MMS is going to allow you to embed media, so media like pictures. So something we do, it's a really good question because video is fantastic. It's fantastic. But if they don't get to the video, it doesn't matter. So how you drive them to the video is a really important component of this. So what channels can you use? You can use email. You can use text message. Charlie was talking a little bit. He's been doing direct mail because you can do variable QR codes. Every piece of direct mail has a variable QR code that the student contact can scan, and it brings them right to their personalized video. Those are the main ways that we've done it. Email is the least efficient. Anybody who's been sending emails out, they just don't get the same. Text message is going to be, I don't even think there's an exaggeration. I think probably 8 to 10 times better interaction through a text message than an email. 100%. And we use MMS wherever we can. So if you're a US-based company, we would recommend MMS, and embedding something we do is it's called the personalized GIF. So we pre-render an automated personalized preview of the video and embed it into the text message so that goes out and it's not just a blind link, that the recipient is actually going to get a preview of what they're about to see before they click through it. And that's really helped with our click-through rates on text message. So the short answer is text, email, yes, most common ways. And there are ways that you can optimize the delivery of those content within them to improve click-through rates.
And just one more piggyback on that, transparency with your sales force. You know, one of the things that I've been a victim of is I'll do all these really cool things and I won't tell anybody else about it. So we have received lift by making sure everybody knows the products that we're using, which includes video, so they have an understanding of that and they're not duplicating what was said or looking like they're not knowledgeable about the practices we use. So I will say, when you're using whatever modality you're using, make sure everybody understands what they're using and what the viewer is going to see, so they can add that to their kind of repertoire when they talk to people. So.
And I'll add in, it's also important to make sure that, whatever cadence you have built into your CRM, whether you're one of our Lead Squared clients or using a different CRM, right? Data helps inform decisions, right? Pull your reports, get your data, understand who's opening what, when are they opening it, why are they opening it, right? You can slice up data in so many different ways, but if you're not using your data to inform your decisions, then you're just have this really great nifty tool and it's getting sent out, but you don't know if it's working, if it's not working, right? You have to really be aware of what's going on in your CRM to continue pushing something forward, or even to Gary's points, what other touch points can I use it for?
Thank you for saying that, Johan, because that is a super powerful note for everybody, to make sure that as you're looking into the video technologies that you're want to implement, look at what data they will be able to give you. Are you going to be able to tell if someone's viewed the video? Are you be able to tell if someone's clicked on something, how long they watched the video, that kind of stuff. So definitely something to keep in mind. Awesome. And it looks like, Colin, you just wanted to clarify, and I think Brian's going to get you an answer via chat there, so that you can have that written down, since you've been having some difficulties. I know Wi-Fi is never, technology is just never quite right all the time, right? So again, I appreciate the panelists being on here with us, and of course, our audience. We've been able to do this without you. We're so thankful to have you all join us and listen in. I'll be sending out the follow-up emails with some, again, links to the recorded version of this, so you can share it away. We'll also offer in some, again, additional insights into some numbers that Charlie doesn't want to talk about here on the call. And we'll also send you a way to test out the MDT solution as well. And then if you have any additional questions on some of the other ones, feel free to reply to that email, and I can definitely send you the information for the other technology we talked about. Goodness, losing my train of thought already. All right, well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining this webinar. And Charlie, Johan, and Gary, thank you very much for sharing your expertise with the crowd.
It's been fun. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.